Hello CA aspirants, welcome back to our channel CA Aspirants Comfort Zone. Today we'll be revising chapter 2 of audit and 3 if the time permits. Let's see. The chapter number 2 is audit strategy, planning and program. Let's revise it in the best possible way. Strategy, what to achieve and why. Plan, who is to do it, when is to do it, and how to do it. What are the benefits of audit? Proper organization and management of audit engagement, attention to improve areas, a timely resolution of potential problems, proper selection of engagement team, direction and supervision of engagement team, easy coordination. Audit procedure prior to performance of further audit. Audit is not discrete, rather continual. If we get this phrase or question is audit procedure prior to performance of further audit, we have to write this answer. General understanding of legal and regulatory environment applicable to entity, analytical procedures to be applied as RAP, performance of other risk assessment procedures, determine of materiality, involvement of experts. What are the process of planning or elements of planning? In process of planning, there are two stages, that is preliminary and planning activities. In case of preliminary, that is performing procedures regarding continuance of client relationship and audit engagement, evaluating compliance with ethical requirements including independence, understanding terms of engagement. In planning activities, we see establishing overall strategy, developing audit plan. Establishing of overall strategy, determination of characteristics of audit, team efforts, reporting objectives, nature, timing and extent of resources, preliminary work. What are the benefits of audit strategy? Employment of quantitative resources, allotment of quality of resources, timing of deployment of resources, management of resources. We can remember this as audit key TRP. Every time this question has been asked in ICAI exams, so we'll deeply revise this. We have to remember this. हर बार एक question आता है. The question will be like, report the objectives, how audit strategy would be helpful for auditor. The most nearly in this new attempt itself, they have asked for the maximum times this question. We have to write both combined about overall strategy, that is determination of characteristics of audit, team efforts, reporting objectives, nature, timing and extent of resources, preliminary work. And we have to write about the benefits also, employment of qualitative resources, allotment of quality and resources, timing of deployment of resources, management of resources. We have to write these points to get full marks. Direction, supervision and review of engagement team. Members depends on, the short form is CARS. Stands for capabilities and competence. A is areas of the audit, R is risk of material misstatement and S is size and complexity of entity. Audit procedure, series of verification procedure applied to items of financial statements for getting sufficient and appropriate evidence to express an opinion. That is audit program. In essay 300, we see consideration of changes in law while established audit strategy. That is as per essay 300. Planning and audit of financial statement, the auditor shall establish an overall audit strategy that sets the scope, timing and direction of audit and guides the development of the audit plan. Auditor should consider the changes while establishing the audit strategy. Considering audit program, rely on internal control? If yes, let's check. if we want to rely on internal control, we have to check the internal control if they are good, right? While constructing audit program, in case if they are very efficient, we can be depending on them. If they are not, we have to use our own brain to get it into practice. Scope and limitations of assignments should be maintained. Consider all possibilities of errors. Determine evidence reasonably available and identify best evidence. Applies those procedures which are useful in verification purpose in specific situation. Coordinate the procedures. Written audit program. Include audit objectives for each area. What are the advantages of audit program? In absence of written program, danger of ignoring books and records, serves as a guide, serves as evidence, assistance clear set of instructions, selection of assistants for jobs, assistance by putting signature. Principal can control a progress of various audits. In case of major audits, it gives total perspective. Disadvantages are, we can remember it as Mari. See, the disadvantages is Mari, right? That is very opposite. That's why we'll remember it as Mari. M stands for work becomes mechanical and some steps can be carried out without understanding objectives of whole audit. That is M A R and I. You can remember it in this way. Mari, that is mechanical and some steps can be carried out without understanding objectives. Inefficient assistants take shelter behind the program. Assistants take shelter behind the program. Rigid and inflexible. Initiative of efficient assistance. Hard and fast audit program may kill initiative of efficient assistance. In case of any suggestions or corrections, please comment down in the comment box. We'll try to upload each and every chapter before the exam so that it will be easy to revise. Factors that would be considered in development of overall audit plan. Terms of his engagement and statutory responsibilities, nature and timing of reports, legal or statutory requirements, accounting policies adopted by client, effect of new accounting and auditing standards, identification of significant audit areas, setting of materiality levels for audit purpose, involvement of other auditors, the involvement of experts, the allocation of work between joint auditors, establishing and coordinating staff requirements, the degree of reliance on accounting system and internal control, relationship between overall strategy and plan are strategy is preferred before plan. Plan has more details than strategy. Interrelated change in one result in change in other. Strategy provides guidelines to plan. Detailed plan includes nature, timing and extent of the procedures to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. What are the documentation that should be made by auditor? There is documentation by auditor. He shall document overall audit strategy, audit plan, significant changes during audit. Following should form part of the document, that is summary of discussions with the entity's key decision makers, documentation of audit committee, pre-approval of services, other communication and agreements with management or TCWG about scope, changes in scope, etc. Report on entity's financial statement, other reports as specified in agreement. Involvement of experts while planning an auditor. Planning an audit involves establishing the overall audit strategy for engagement and developing an audit plan. While planning an audit, he shall consider if expert is required or not. If company involved in tech and complex operations, then auditor has to decide the necessary of expert. In establishment of overall strategy, the audit shall identify the characteristics of the engagement that define its scope. Explain. This is the question and we'll be writing this answer. Applicable financial reporting framework, applicable to entity, nature of business segments to be audited, including the need for specialized knowledge, industry specific reporting requirements required by industry, expected use of audit evidence obtained in previous audits. Coming to essay 300, what are the benefits of planning? How does planning benefits organization in case if we plan? Helping the auditor to devote appropriate attention to important areas of audit, to identify and resolve potential problems on a timely basis, properly organize and manage the audit engagement so that it is effective and efficient, assisting in the selection of engagement team member with appropriate levels of capabilities and competence to respond to anticipated risks and assigned work, facilitating the direction and supervision of engagement team members and review of their work, assisting where application appropriate in coordination of a work done by auditors of components and experts. We can simply remember and write it as appropriate attention to important areas, identify, resolve problems on timely basis, organize and manage selection of engagement team that will be capable and competitive, direction and supervision of engagement team members to review their work, coordinate of work done by experts. Planning is not discrete but continuous, often begins shortly after the completion of previous audit and continues until the completion of current audit engagement. Planning includes consideration of timing and certain activities and audit procedures that need to be completed prior to the performance of further procedures. Planning includes the need to consider prior to auditors identification and assessment of risk of material misstatements, such as analytical procedures to be applied as risk assessment procedure, obtain a general understanding of the legal and regulatory framework applicable to the entity and how the entity is complying, determination of materiality, involvement of experts, the performance of other risk assessment procedures. Hope you are enjoying this revision session. In case of any corrections or if you like the video, please comment, share and also subscribe to our channel for more videos and more contents till our exams, and also after our exams there are many interesting topics that should be covered. Thank you.